Hello, in this topic, we will study the string functions. What exactly is it and how it is used? What is exactly string functions? String functions are essential tools in programming that allow us to manipulate and work with text data, which is represented as a sequence of characters. These functions provide various operators to modify, extract, or analyze strings. First, we have ASCII. ASCII is a built-in function that returns the ASCII code value of a character. The ASCII code represents a unique numeric value assigned to each character in the ASCII character set. Here is the syntax of the ASCII function in SQL Server. ASCII open parenthesis character close parenthesis. The character parameter in the input character for which you want to retrieve the ASCII code value. It can be a character retailer, a column name, or an expression that evaluates to a character. Here is the example of ASCII functions. Return the ASCII value of the first character in customer name. The query retrieves a ASCII value of the first character of each customer's name from the customer's table and aliases as a num code of first char. Here's the parameter values of ASCII. Parameter character in description required the character to return the ASCII value for if more than one character is entered, it will only return the value for the first character. The next up is char. What is char? The char function returns the character based on the ASCII code. A char function is used to perform character-based operation on string. It can be used to manipulate and analyze individual characters within a string. Here is the syntax. Char, open parenthesis, code, close parenthesis. Here the example of char functions. Return the character based on the number code 65. The query retrieves the character representation of ASCII code 65, which is the letter A, and aliases as a code to character. Here's the parameter values in char. Parameter in char code. The description is required the ASCII number code to return the character 4.
The char index function searches for a substring in a string and returns the position. If the substring is not found, this function returns 0. The syntax is char index, open parenthesis, substring, string, start, and close parenthesis. For example, this syntax search for T in string, customers, and return position. Select char index, open parenthesis, T, customers, close parenthesis, as match position, and semicolon. Here are the parameter values. Substring. Substring is required, the substring to search for. String is required, the string to be searched. And start is optional, the position where the search will start. Or if you do not want to start at the beginning of string, the first position in string is 1.
Contact the contact function add two or more string together.
Here the syntax of contact functions. Contact, open parenthesis, string 1, string 2, string underscore n, close parenthesis. Example of concat function. Add two strings together. The result of this SQL statement will be a single string. w3schools.com. The concat function simply joins the two input strings together without any spaces or additional character.
Here are the contact parameter value. String 1, string 2, string n require the string to add together.
Concat with plus. Definition and usage. The plus operator allows you to add two or more strings together. Note: see also the concat, open bracket, close bracket, dot, and concat underscore ws, open bracket, close bracket, dot function. Syntax: string 1 plus string 2 plus string underscore n. Parameter values. Parameter: string 1, string 2, string underscore n. Description: require the string to add together.
Example of concat with plus function. Add two strings together. The first string value is W3 school and the second string value is .home. By using the plus operator, the two strings are combined from a single string. The result of the above statement will be the concatenated string w3school.com. So next up is concat underscore double s function. The concat double s functions are add two or more string together with the separator. Note: see also concat and concat with the plus operator. And here the syntax: concat double s, open parenthesis, separator, string 1, string 2, string underscore n, close parenthesis. Example: add string together, use single quote dot single quote. The separate the concatenated string values. So when this SQL statement is executed, it will concatenate the three string w3school and com together using the period as a separator. The result of the concatenation will be www.3school.com. The parameter values of concat underscore double s. We have two parameters of concat double s. First is separator. The description of this is required the separator to use. Second, string 1, string 2, string underscore n. The description is required the string add together. Next up, data length. What is data length? The data length function is used to return the length in bytes of a specific expression. It is common used to determine the size of binary data or the length of a string. Here the syntax: data length, open parenthesis, expression, close parenthesis. Here the example of data length functions. Return the length of an expression in bytes. The query calculates the number of bytes used to represent a string w3school.com. It does not count the number of characters in the string, but rather the number of bytes used to store it in the database. Here's the parameter values: expression, description, required, the data type to return the length for. If expression is null, it returns null.
The different function compared to soundtext value and return an integer. The integer value indicates the match for the two soundtext value from 0 to 4. 0 indicate weak or no similarities between the sound index. Value 4 indicate strong similarity or indicality soundtext value.
The syntax of difference, open parenthesis, expression, comma, expression, close parenthesis.
And this different example, select different juicy. I tried to run it in SQL and we got the result 4.
Different functions return an integer value between 0 and 4, where a higher value indicates a stronger similarity between the string. A value of 4 means the strings are considered identical based on their soundtext value.
Different parameter value. Expression. Required to expression to be compared can be constant, variable, or column.
Next up is the format function. The format function formats a value with a specified format and an optional culture in SQL Server 2017. Use the format function to format date, time, and values and number values. For general data type conversions, use cast or convert. And the syntax of format, open parenthesis, value, comma, format, comma, culture, close parenthesis. Let's have an example. Format a date. The SQL code formats the date 12/01/2018 in three different languages: US, English, Norwegian, and Zulu. The formatted result will be displayed in separate column with corresponding aliases in the result set. Now let's have parameter values in format. First, value. The description is required, the value to formatted. Next, format. Required, the format pattern. Next, culture. Optional. Specify a culture from SQL Server 2017.
SQL Server left function. Definition and usage. The left function extracts a number of characters from a string, starting from left. Syntax. Left, open bracket, string, comma, number, underscore, of, underscore, chars, close bracket.
Example of left function. Extract three characters from a string, starting from left. The left function extracted the first three characters SQL from input string SQL tutorial and assigned it to the column name extract string.
Parameter values. Parameter, string, description. Required the string to extract from. Number, underscore, of, underscore, chars. Required the number of characters to extract. If the number exceeds the number of characters in a string, it returns string. SQL Server len function. Definition and usage. The length function returns the length of a string. Note: trailing spaces at the end of the string is not included when calculating the length. However, leading spaces at the start of the string is included when calculating the length. T. Also look at the data length, open bracket, close bracket, dot function. Syntax: len, open bracket, string, close bracket.
Example, return the length of a string. Executing the SQL query, select length, open parenthesis, single quote, w3school.com, single quote, close parenthesis, semicolon, will result in a single row with the value 13.
Parameter values. Parameter, string, description. Require the string to return the length 4. If string is null, it returns null.
Next up, lower. What is lower? The lower function is used to convert a string to lowercase. It is a built-in string function that helps to manipulate and transform the text data. Note, also look at the upper function. Here is the syntax. Lower, open parenthesis, text, close parenthesis. Here is the example. Convert the text to lowercase. The query converts the string SQL tutorial is fun to lowercase using the lower function. The resulting output will be SQL tutorial is fun. Here's the parameter values in lower functions. Text, the description required, the string to the convert. Ltrim function. The ltrim function removes leading spaces from a string. Note, also look at the ltrim functions. Here the syntax. Ltrim, open parenthesis, string, close parenthesis. Example, remove leading spaces from a string. The query trims a leading spaces from a string SQL tutorial using ltrim function. The resulting output will be SQL tutorial, and it is aliases as left trim string. Here's the parameter values in ltrim. String, the description required the string to remove leading space from. nchar function. The nchar function returns the Unicode character based on the number code. Here the syntax of nchar function. nchar, open parenthesis, number code, close parenthesis. Example, return the Unicode character based on the number code 65. The query retrieves a Unicode character representation of the number code 65, which is the letter A, and aliases it as number code to Unicode. Here's the parameter values in nchar. Number code, the description required, the number code in the Unicode standard to return the character 4.
What is patindex? The patindex functions return the position of a pattern in a string. If the pattern is not found, this function returns 0. Note, the string is case insensitive and the first position in string is 1. Syntax: patindex, open parenthesis, hash, percent pattern, percent, comma, string, close parenthesis.
Example, return the position of pattern in a string. In this specific case, since the pattern %school% is present in the string w3school.com starting from position 3, the patindex function will return the value of 3. Here's the parameter values. First, %pattern percent. Description, require the pattern to find must be surrounded by %. Other wildcards can be used. Pattern shocks as percent. Match any string of any length, including 0 length. Underscore, match one single character. Bracket, match any character in the brackets. Caret, match any character not in the bracket. String, require the string to be searched.
The quoteName function returns a Unicode string with delimiters added to make the string a valid SQL Server delimiter identifier. Syntax: quoteName open parenthesis string, comma, quote underscore char, close parenthesis.
For example, select codename ABCDEF. This returns a Unicode string with bracket delimiters. The replace function replaces all occurrences of a substring within a string with a new substring. The syntax is replace, open parenthesis, string, old string, new string, and close parenthesis. For example, this syntax replaces T with an M. SQL tutorial will be replaced with SQL memorial. The replicate function repeats a string in a specified number of times. The syntax is replicate, open parenthesis, string, integer, and close parenthesis. For example, this syntax repeats a string SQL tutorial 5 times. As you can see, SQL tutorial was repeated 5 times. The reverse function reverses a string and returns the result. The syntax is reverse, open parenthesis, string, and close parenthesis. For example, this syntax reverses a string. Basically, the SQL tutorial will be reversed. Here, as the result became Lairotut LQS. The write function extracts a number of characters from a string, starting from write. The syntax is write, open parentheses, string, number of characters, and close parentheses. For example, this syntax extracts 3 characters from the string SQL tutorial. The rtrim function removes trailing spaces from a string. The syntax is rtrim, open parentheses, string, and close parentheses. For example, this syntax removes the trailing spaces from the string SQL tutorial. As you can see, the string no longer has unnecessary string in it. The soundEx function returns a 4-character code to evaluate the similarity of the two expressions. The syntax is soundEx, open parentheses, expression, and close parentheses. For example, this syntax evaluates the similarity of the two strings, the juice string and the juicy string. The space function returns a string of the specified number of space characters. The syntax is space, open parentheses, number, and the close parentheses. For example, this syntax will return a string with 10 spaces.
Next up, str or stru. The stru function is used to convert a numerical value into a character string within a specific format. It is a built-in function that helps to format numeric values as string for display or manipulation purposes. Here is the syntax of stru functions. Stru or str, open parentheses, is either number, length, or decimals, close parentheses. The result of the query will be a single column with the value 185. As a string, this means that the number 85 has been converted to a string data type.
The stuff function deletes a part of a string and then inserts another part into the string, starting at a specified position. Syntax: stuff, open bracket, starting comma, start comma, line comma, new underscore string, close bracket.
For example, this deletes 3 characters from the string starting in position 1 and then insert HTML in position 1.
The substring function extracts some character from a string. Here are the examples. Extract 3 character from a string starting in position 1. Select substring SQL tutorial 1.3 as extract string.
Next up, translate functions. What is translate functions? The translate function is used to replace a set of character in a string with another set of character. It is a built string function that helps to perform character level substitution or transformation within your SQL queries. Here is the syntax. Translate, open parenthesis, is either string, character translation, close parenthesis.
For example, this syntax returns the string from the first argument after the characters specified in the second argument are translated into the characters specified in the third argument. The trim function removes the space character or other specified characters from the start or end of a string. By default, the trim function removes leading and trailing spaces from a string. For example, this syntax removes the leading and trailing spaces from the string SQL tutorial. As you can see, SQL tutorial is between 2 spaces.
These Unicode functions allow you to perform various operations and manipulation on Unicode data. Here the syntax: Unicode, open parenthesis, character, expression, close parenthesis.
For example, this syntax returns an integer value for the first character of the input expression. Select Unicode Atlanta. As you can see, it became 65.
Next up, the upper functions. The upper function is used to convert a string to uppercase. Here the syntax: upper, upper, open parenthesis, text, close parenthesis.
For example, this syntax converts the text SQL tutorial is fun into uppercase. Select upper, SQL tutorial is fun, and as you can see, the result became uppercase.